Hi guys, so we're going to jump right into this video. If you'd like to see how I got this look using some products from the November 2016 Glam Bag, keep on watching. To start off, we're going to prime with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Light. And I'm using my ring finger to blend this all out. And I'm bringing down the lower lash line and all around my eye area. I also grab a damped beauty sponge to make it nice and even. Then I'm going in with the color Classic from the Tarteist Pro palette with a Mally Beauty round blender brush, and I'm using that to set the concealer in. Next, I'm going in with the color Bold with the Morphe R38, and I'm focusing this shade right into my crease. And I blend it out until it's nice and diffused, but I'm satisfied with the color payoff. Next, I'm going in with the color Innocent with the Morphe LGM3, and I'm focusing this color right above that color Bold that we first put on. I'm putting it right above it just to give it a little bit more warmth. Just because Bold was a little bit more yellow tone than orange tone, and I wanted to make it a little bit more warmer. And I did bring this all the way into the inner corner and into my crease. Next, I'm going in with the color Edgy on a Morphe R41, and I am focusing this color on the outer corner of my eyes, and I'm using the end of where my eye color begins as a guide of where I want that color to stop. And I'm also making sure to keep this color below the crease because I don't want it to get muddied with those first two colors that we laid down. So I'm making sure that this color stays right under the crease. And I grabbed that Mally brush again just to make it nice and diffused. Next, I'm going in with the color Whimsy, and I'm using an Urban Decay Naked 3 brush. This is the brush that came in the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and I'm using that to add that Whimsy color right into the center of my lid. And I put it over that color Edgy just so it's nice and diffused and both colors are nice and blended and there isn't any harsh line between the two colors. With that same brush, I'm going to go in with the color Indie. I flip the brush over and I'm starting to put this into the inner corner of my eyes, making sure that both Indie and Whimsy are blending in well together. I did lose some of that color, so I went back in with the color Whimsy and I started putting it again, so that color payoff was nice and I was satisfied. And I kept going back and forth between the two colors because it kept getting blended away. You can't over blend a little bit, so you have to be careful with that. Next, I went in with the color Glam, and I used that same Urban Decay brush, except that I'm using the other end, which is a flat tip. And I'm using that to put it into the inner corner and over that color Whimsy. So pretty much all over my lid. Then I'm going in with the color Smoked with the Morphe R41, and I'm adding more depth to my look. Then I went back with Innocent and Bold with a Morphe R37, and I just make sure that I blended all that in until the look came together, until I was satisfied with how the look came. Last, I'm using Vintage on a short fluff brush. I don't remember where I got this brush, but it's just a short brush that fits right under my brow bone, and I'm using this color to highlight and make sure that everything is nice and blended and the look came together. So this is the Glam Bag for November 2016 by Ipsy. I got the gold one. There was a silver one. And the first product we're going to talk from the bag is a primer. It's by Benefit Cosmetics, and this is the Pore-fessional primer. And I am focusing this on my problem areas such as my nose, down my nose, around my nose, my forehead, and my chin. This is usually where I get oily and my pores are pretty large and that's where I'm putting it, and then I just spread it out to the rest of my face. For foundation, I am using Rimmel London Lasting Finish Foundation in Soft Beige, and I'm using this on the outer portions of my face. And in the center of my face, I'm using the Revlon Colorstay in Nude. This shade is a little light for me, so I'm using this kind of to highlight a bit. And to blend, I'm using a beauty sponge, a damp beauty sponge. This is by Real Techniques. This is the Miracle Complexion Sponge. And I'm using this to blend out my foundation. I did make sure that it was nice and moist, because if it's nice and damp, it makes your foundation look like skin instead of it when it's dry. It makes it just look like foundation is sitting on your skin. But if you use it while it's wet, it makes your foundation just kind of soak into your skin, making your foundation look more like skin instead of it just sitting on top. And here I am just blending that all out and make sure that it's nice and ready. To conceal under eye, I'm going in with my Tarte Shade Tape Concealer in the color Light. And I'm just focusing that under my eye. This color is a little light for me, so I do go in with another concealer just to make it a little bit more my color. And that concealer is the MAC Select Moisture Concealer in NW20. These two formulas work very well together, and I've been really enjoying this for the past month or so. Then I get that same beauty sponge and I start blending out my concealer, making sure that I get everything nice and smooth and everything is nice and uniformed and diffused. And then I'm doing it again on the other side. This is really two of my favorite concealers. I highly recommend them, and I highly recommend them being used together. To set my under eye, I'm using the Ofra. Excuse me, that's my son. I'm using the Ofra Cosmetics Banana Highlighting Powder, and I'm using a Morphe LGM1. Then, to finish my eyes, I am going in with that color Innocent and Bold with the Morphe R41, and I'm just focusing that all down on my lash line, bringing it all, pretty much all the way in. Then I'm going in with that shade Smoked with the Royal and Langnickel pencil brush. This is the BX95, and I'm focusing that on the outer portion of my lower lids, just to give my look a little bit more definition. Then I went back with that color Glam, and I used the R41 to add a little bit of shimmer toward the bottom. This is the Eyeko Skinny Liquid Eyeliner in Pitch Black. I must admit that I don't normally use eyeliner just because I'm not great at it, so I usually skip that in my routine. But this made it really, really, really easy. It has a very, very, very thin tip, and it was just so easy. I loved it. The only thing that I wasn't too excited about was that it doesn't dry matte. It has kind of a shine, which isn't my favorite, but I definitely will pick this up again and reuse it and reuse it, and maybe it will be my go-to eyeliner since it was so easy to do it. So I definitely recommend this eyeliner if you're a beginner with eyeliners. It definitely helped and it worked great. To finish my eyes, I am using a Rimmel eyeliner. I don't remember what it's called, but the shade is in Rich Brown. But I will put that in the description box below so you guys know exactly what I was using. And I'm just putting this on my outer corner just because I want to add a little bit more depth into my look. And then I also use that same brush. I used the smudger on the other end. and I pretty much smudged it all out. Next, I am using my Tarte eyelash curler. I don't use falsies, so I use this very often. This is actually from their holiday collection. It's become one of my favorite. I love this thing. Then with mascara, I'm using the Blinc mascara in Amplified in Black. This is a tube mascara. And the way tube mascara works, it just makes it easier to remove. When you remove it, they come out like little tubes. And it just doesn't leave black all over your eye or anything like that. It's a very good mascara. It's one of my favorites. So I do recommend it. It is sweat proof, tear proof, everything proof. So I give this a thumbs up. One of my favorite mascaras. And for my lower lash line, I am using the Prescriptives False Eyelashes and Plush Mascara in Plush Black. And I can say that this doesn't have the longest lasting power, but it does work well and I like it. Then for contour, I am using my It Cosmetics, my Sculpted Face Palette, and I am using it with a Morphe R5. And I'm using my ear as a guide of where I want to start that contour, and I'm bringing it right to the middle of my face. I didn't want to bring it down too much, and that's what I'm doing. I don't want to stop. I want to stop right in the middle of my face, because if you bring it down too much, it kind of gets a little muddy. So you kind of just want to avoid getting it there. And then I did get a bigger brush because I did want it to kind of diffuse it a little bit. I wanted a softer look. So I get a big fluffy brush to kind of just make it soft. And then with whatever was left on my brush, I kind of put it up to my forehead and around my temples just to give myself a little bit of a bronze look, a little bit of color. For blush, I am going in with my Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in Risque. And I am using a Sephora blush contour brush in 74. And what I did was I started to smile just so I could find the apples of my cheeks. And I started it behind where the apple of my cheek is, just because if you put it right there, it becomes too strong. So if you push it back a little bit and then push it forward, it just gives you a more nice and softer look, and it doesn't look like a clown face. Next, for highlight, I am going with the Cougar Beauty Mineral Face and Body Shimmer in Diamond Kiss, and I'm using a Luxie 512 small contouring brush. And what I did was I looked for a bone. I believe everyone has the outer part of their bone, and then I used that to guide me of where I want to put that highlight. So I just kind of highlight in and put it up to my temples, and I do kind of mix that in with my blush, because I kind of just wanted to look nice and even and nice and diffused. Look at that glow. Love that. Love that one. It's one of my favorites. Then I got whatever else was left on my brush and I put it on the tip of my nose. I put it on my forehead, on my cupid's bow, and I was just slaying with that glow because I was meant to shine. Then with that sponge, of course it's damp as well, I kind of just patted it all down so it doesn't look like powder on my face, and it just looks like I'm glowing from within. I'm using a Rimmel lip liner. I don't remember what the name of this is, but I am going to put that down in the description box below. But I am just using this to pretty much stop the because the next product is a liquid lipstick. So I'm pretty much just using this so it doesn't bleed out, because you do want to use, I prefer to use a lip liner every time. It's not something necessary, but to me, I just feel like with my lips, if I don't use a lip liner, any lipstick or liquid liners or anything, no matter what it is, it kind of just bleeds through. And this is what I'm doing here, is trying to get that lipped outline and getting ready for the next product I'm going to speak about. The next product is also from my Ipsy Glam Bag, and this is by Ciaté, I believe it's how it's pronounced, Ciaté London, and this is the liquid lip, I'm assuming what it's called. It's called Liquid Velvet in Diva, and I must say that I really liked it. It was very nice and smooth. It wasn't uncomfortable. It dried matte. The applicator has kind of a tip. It's not an applicator that I've normally seen. So it was really good to use to kind of outline my Cupid's bow. Since I don't have it very pronounced, it was very easy to use. I really loved it. The only thing about this is that it didn't pass my transfer test. I let it dry for a few minutes. When it was nice and comfortable, where I thought it was completely dry, I, kissed my hand to see if it would transfer, and it did. So it is something that you'll probably have to reapply often. But I mean, the color is beautiful. It's full coverage. Besides that, I really don't have anything negative to say about this one. So I definitely will be picking this up often and using it definitely throughout this holiday season. One of my favorite products that I got in the bag this month. The last product in my Ipsy bag, it is a skincare product which I can't use on camera. It is by Nuxe. It smells good, it feels good, so I will guys give you a review on that later, just because I haven't been able to use it yet. So to end this video, eyeliner, I give it a thumbs up. The banana powder, I also give it a thumbs up. And my lips, I must say that I enjoyed it too. So I think that one also deserves a thumbs up. But the one that was not my favorite and I give a thumbs down is the primer. It just broke up in my skin, just didn't do much. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys taking a few minutes of your time to listen to me blab along and do what I love to do, which share my love for makeup. So thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks. Bye bye.